Alrighty then. So, yeah, we figured we'd get started a tad early here. Um, Actually, we're now are starting right at 7, in fact. hmm so actually, I have 7 news stories for tonight. We'll talk more about those in a few minutes, give people a chance to get in here. ATC, I saw you did drop by Leto's stream earlier today. I was there too, as you know, there for quite a while. Yeah, let's see if anybody else shows up here. It looks like we got at least one other person here with us. That's good to see. We'll. Hey, it's Woody. Cool beans, Mike. Yeah. Hello, Mike. ATC. Hey, Woody. Yeah, I just woke up. Hey, Woody. Let's see. Action. Toys. Channel. Action. Toys. What would Woody do? Packing 62, driving classic cars, drinking in the bars, playing all the games, picking up the dames. What would Woody do? What would Woody do? Oh, just give me a sec, guys. I'm going to go off camera for just a quick moment here. All right, I'm back. Yeah, so, um, yeah, you see, I actually went by Cress's YouTube channel, then redirected to her Twitter account. So I did see her tweet about her no longer being affiliated with Kitchener Comic Con. So I didn't give a whole lot of details. Um, but you know, the fact that she seemed to quit all of a sudden like that, though, just seems like seemed like maybe something happened because there doesn't seem to be much in the way of any like at least now maybe you would know this more than I would because you probably watch more of their stuff, but it didn't seem like there was anything going on where it seemed like she was actually considering leaving Kitchener Comic Con. So sort of sad looking at your icon, which is a man working in a toy shop. Maybe the toy shop is commanded that's better only for the holiday season. How about Woody? Why sad? I am I PM you on Facebook later. Oh, are you with this one? Are you talking to me about that? Because um, because that's an empty bed where the toy maker was. Well, so ATC, are you telling me you're going to PM me later about what's going on with Crest and possibly Mr. Hop and Kitchener Comic Con and all that? Hmm. Yes, as I said, we're just waiting a few minutes here to see if anybody else shows up. And of course, a reminder, guys, I will be streaming tomorrow night and Christmas night. You know, they'll both be, you'll have two straight nights of open mic to where I'll just open up the studio. You guys want to, guys want to come and hang. Um, we can basically talk niche, figure out. Got four people in here now, so that's good. Hey, back up. I'll just PM you on Facebook. Okay. Evening, gents. All right. Yeah, so we got four people in here now, so that's cool. Um, and I do thank you guys for the likes and shares. For likes and shares, that helps with getting the word out and stuff like that. And I as I mentioned to Leto earlier too, um, I do share stuff on Parlor as well. You guys might want to check that out as an alternative to Facebook. So, yeah. Um, let's see now. So up to 6:46 here. Again, just with the reminder, as I said, tomorrow night and Christmas night, as well as New Year's Eve and New Year's night, we'll be doing kind of an open mic session where I'll just be opening up the studio for anybody who wants to join me. We can get together and talk niche. Um, if you guys want to, just be aware of that. Let's see. Just finished my Christmas shopping. I love my Blizzak snow tires. I raced and demolished some Jack Cole in a mech SUV. Um, it's literally a race car on the snow with these tires. Hey, toys. Hey, Woody. Oh, yeah. Fat goat. Da 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 da. Fat goat. Da 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 da. Fat goat. Da 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 da. Fat goat. Da 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 da. Fat goat. Fat goat. Fat goat. Da 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 da. How do you think your snow tires would fare in Canada, Back Goat? Wait, what? What about open mic night? Well, that's one of the things I'm calling it. The, like that's because that's what you guys had called it. Basically, the idea is that I'm going, for Christmas Eve, Christmas night, New Year's Eve, and New Year's night. I'm gonna open up the studio and let you guys come in and join me. You can all play co-host. Whoever wants to join me, I can have up to 10 people. You can just come in. We can chat about just chat about basically whatever niche stuff comes to mind, just more randomly, not as much in terms of like regular news coverage, even though from what I understand, I think CBR would still be posting news stories on those days, but still, I just figured, and since of course we're not, we decided to postpone the historical comics retrospect for a couple weeks here for the holidays. um Figured we'll do that, like kind of like what we did on kind of like what we did on Thanksgiving. So anybody wants to come in and join me, can join me for that. So that's basically what it comes down to. I own Laugh Out Loud Suzuki 5x4. It's the rally car that no one knows about. If it's a road, I don't slide off it. Not like DSs and Jeeps. Ha ha ha. All right. Give me a sec. I got to go off camera. We're at the 10-minute mark here. So. All right. So. All right. So we're just past the 10-minute mark. So I guess I'll get going here a bit. Let's see. So basically, I'm going to be looking at 7 stories tonight, or possibly 7 stories tonight if we can get through all of them. Of course, the lead story is going to be the one you see there. Richard Meyer dropping his lawsuit against Mark Wade. Also, there's some HBO Max news we'll be looking at a little later. Um, let's see. Um, yeah, and basically have it all up in the tag. So um, let me just see here. So, oh yeah, Method Man. There's a story about Method Man in here that caught my attention. But apparently, he got his moral code from comics. That's going to be an interesting one to look at. So, let's see. Oh yeah, and Roku also is dropping. Roku officially deletes an app, so that one too. Basically, we got like 7 stories. Yeah, there it is. Method Man. Okay. So basically, we got 7 stories to go through tonight. A little more than usual, but there are a couple of HBO Max stories. Um, you seriously? Okay, so well, apparently, let's see what's going on here. Okay, Lava Loud, Batgoat, Canada Road are sheets of ice a lot of the times. Yeah, I would think particularly up in the Yukon territory, right? Um, you seriously think you have icier roads than Minnesota? No, 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 no. Um, I don't actually. Even though I've never been up to Canada, I would have to somewhat disagree with you, Bat Goat, because I think Yukon territory, which is like their northernmost province, it's like tundra up there. So I think it's like all tundra up there, up in the Yukon territory. So you go up to the Yukon territory, it probably is one big sheet of ice, as I understand it. But ATC might know more about that than I would. Anyways, let's get into some news here. The lead into this tonight is this one, and this one actually came up last night, but I decided to just save it for tomorrow so we'd have something to go through. Jawbreakers, Richard Meyer, and I do know that Nick covered this a bit. I don't know what he said because I wasn't watching the stream. Quite honestly, I haven't been personally following this story. I didn't even know more or less who these guys were, anyways. So it's like wasn't that. But since this is something that's been going on for a while, yeah, I decided to cover it tonight. Cover the aftermath here, and I got to go off camera one more time here. Sorry. That goat when lockdown ends, come Canada for the winter season. Laugh out loud. Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, let's get into this. Jawbreakers Richard Meyer drops lawsuit against Mark Wade. Mark Wade and Richard Meyer jointly announced that Meyer has dropped his lawsuit against Wade over Antarctic Press dropping Meyer's Jawbreakers. Richard Meyer, writer of the comic book Jawbreakers, and Humanoids publisher Mark Wade jointly announced that Meyer has voluntarily dropped his lawsuit against Wade, in which Meyer had alleged that Wade tortuously interfered in a contract between Meyer and Arctic Press to release Meyer's Jawbreakers with artists John Malin and Brett Smith. After Jawbreakers had raised over $248,000 on Indiegogo, and Arctic had agreed to publish the comic book as well, but withdrew from the agreement after there was a good deal of controversy in the comic book industry over Antarctic working with Meyer, who was connected to the Comicsgate movement. Wade was among those that had contacted Antarctic Press to complain about the project. Meyer claimed that Wade's contact amounted to an interference with the contract Meyer had established with Antarctic, as well as defamation due to the alleged content of the phone call. Wade had hired Mark Zaid as a lawyer to Wade and Zaid. An interesting combination right there. Wade and Zaid, twins separated at birth. As a lawyer to defend himself from Meyer's lawsuit and formed a GoFundMe campaign to raise money for his legal fees. The GoFundMe raised over $80,000. Today, Wade updated the GoFundMe to reveal that the suit was over. It contained the following joint statement from Wade and Meyer. On September 19, 2018, plaintiff Richard Meyer filed a lawsuit in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Texas against defendant Mark Wade that asserted claims of tortuous interference with contract and defamation arising out of the intended publication of a comic book by Antarctic Press entitled Jawbreakers. Following jurisdictional discovery and motions practice, a first amended complaint was filed on July 24, 2019. Of course, as everybody knows, this is also going around the time of Vic's lawsuit as well. So the statement continued, since the filing of the lawsuit, Jawbreakers has been successfully published and COVID-19 has significantly impacted the world around us. Upon consideration of all the circumstances, the parties have jointly decided that it is in the best interest of all concerned and the comic book community at large for this litigation to end. And Mr. Meyer has decided to voluntarily dismiss the lawsuit. Neither party has admitted any liability or responsibility, can claim to have achieved any victory, and both have agreed to assume their own fees and cost. So it basically sounds like they kind of settled their issue. With the dismissal of the lawsuit, the parties have executed a confidential agreement and have no interest in continuing the dispute in the public arena or anywhere else. Wade thanked the people who had helped him set up the campaign and promoted it. So it basically sounds like they basically settled whatever issues they were having. You know. All right. So with that, let's see what you guys are saying here. I guess we'll start here. I've been to Canada. I've lived in North Dakota, and now and am in Minnesota. First of all, there was like one road in the Yukon territories. Secondly, we invented black ice. Just saying, we have most people living on a sheet of ice in the world. I can't back that up with facts, and I'm pretty sure of it. Uh, I bet there was a huge payout, and Mike publicly announcing his withdrawal was a stipulation. Don't you mean Mark? I think okay, let's see. I bet there was a huge payout, and Mark publicly announcing his withdrawal was well, actually, Rich. It would be Richard who'd be pulling out, but 10,000 sheets of ice. Laugh out loud, Woody. Laugh out loud. You're living in a country that shuts state down over a few feet of snow. Back goat. All I'm saying. Or 10,000 backyard skating rinks. Figure eight is half of four. Figure four. Oh, wait, no. Figure eight is double four. Figure four is half of eight. It's a circle that goes round and round upon itself. Woody and Backgoat should recognize that song. That's from Schoolhouse Rock. Schoolhouse Rocky, chip off the block. It's your favorite Schoolhouse Rock. Laugh aloud, black ice is a natural occurring thing. Yeah. Well, no pavements is not a naturally occurring thing, dude. Laugh out loud. Oh boy. Interesting discussion you guys are having. Interesting debate you guys are having. Which is icier, Canada or Minnesota? Oh boy. High price for being right. Hey, excuse me a moment. I got to go off camera again here. All right, I'm back. Let's see what you guys said since. Black ice is a thin coat of glazed ice on a surface, on pavement. It kills people. That's why it's a thing. Oh boy. Pride cometh before the fall. Pavement was invented in Belgium. All right, let's come on, guys. Anyway, hey, Woody, Batgoat, did you guys have anything to say on the whole Richard Meyer, Mark Wade situation there about the dropping of the suit? And it's the damn back's fault. Oh boy, you know it. We're cool, Mike. I'm just being a dork. Okay. Ah, So, you guys have anything you want? Anything you want to? I know Action Toys did add some stuff on the dropping of the suit. Batgoat, Woody, do you guys have anything you guys wanted to add to that conversation? Me too. Laugh out loud. First time the factive had to look up pavement. When I was an archaeologist, man, I don't miss that job at all. Laugh out loud, nice. All right, so I guess we'll move on to the next story then. Um, okay, I missed it. Buy it again. Wow, I keep missing that. Here we go. Okay. Method Man reveals how comic books gave him a moral code. Now, this one's interesting because there's NC. Let's take a look at how Method Man developed a code here. Okay. Method Man reveals how comic books gave him a moral code. Method Man spoke with the podcast um, Jamel Hill. Jamel Hill is unbothered about comic books giving him a moral code that informs his standards today. Rapper and actor Method Man talked about how reading comic books informed and shaped his moral code. The rapper and actor made the admission during an interview on the podcast Jamel Hill is Unbothered. He told Hill, the stories taught me how to read better, taught me words that I wouldn't have known if I hadn't picked up books, gave me a moral code that I didn't know I had. Um, a lot of us that read the books have an inner moral code that we hadn't even noticed. Maybe kind of the predilection we all have towards being guided towards superheroes. Maybe for years, a rapper has spoken about his love for comics. Several interviews and appearances. In February of this year, he spoke on wanting to play Marvel Comics Bishop and launched a campaign by cosplaying as a character. He has also participated in two Marvel podcasts. In Marvels, he played Ben Urich in the 10 episode series Marvel's Voices. A 10 episode Marvel or 10 episode series. Marvel's Voices had the actor bring the Marvel anthology Marvel's Voices #1 to life. The actor played himself in season 1 episode of Luke Cage, where he contributed a song Bulletproof Love for the episode. In 2020, Method Man appeared in the horror comedy Vampires vs. the Bronx, the Netflix series Teenage Bounty Hunters, and stars Power Book 2 Ghost. Hmm. That was a bit of a disappointing article. That's, the title's a little misleading there. That was a disappointing article right there, just because they say he revealed how comic book, but they don't really tell us how how that is or what his moral code is. And see, we have another person in here with us. Welcome, fifth person. Yeah, let's see. Sucks that people are mad at your boy Zach. I understand why he did it. Now, just a thing for everyone. One day there's going to be some snot nosed kids doing digital archaeology. So, fun fact, what you say now will be read in a basement somewhere by a kid getting paid to read. They it loud, laugh out loud. Okay. 200 years from now, fellas, right now you're making history. You can always be number one. You can always be a winner. Most likely Bat Goat. Or my grandson one day will be like, man, you were a nerd, Grandpa. So true. Truly, truly, truly outrageous. Oh, Jim, amazing, outrageous. Jim is my name. No one else is the same. Anyways, laugh out loud. I smell fake geek, just saying. Laugh out loud. Wait, fake geek? Where? Like Hillary and her fake bottle of hot sauce in her purse. Leto's here. Hey, Leto. Hey, Mike, Batgoat, Woody, and Toys headed to work, but I'm listening. Hey, man, good to see you. You just missed the Richard Meyer story, unfortunately. You'll probably have to go back and look it up later. Hey, Leto. Hey, Leto, laugh out loud. But then again, I know you said you probably saw Nick's stream on it last night, so hey, Leto, laugh out. Yeah, ATC and I were on Leto's stream earlier today, so um, playing battle swords. Interesting tactics there used in the game. So, anyways, this article I just read, Method Man reveals that was kind of a bit disappointing article. I know they like to keep these articles short, but it would have been nice for them to explain a little bit further, a little deeper how it what his moral code is and how the comics applied to it. Anyways, I got some last minute rapping to do. I'll be listening though. All right, cool. As long as you're still here. Anyways, moving on to the next story then here. These are gonna go pretty quickly tonight, it looks like. course, these ones usually do go pretty quick. CBR, but that article method that was disappointing. That was a little bit disappointing. Didn't really go as in depth as it could have. Anyway, so Roku. This is the next one. Roku officially deactivates DC Universe app. No, not that I think anybody in here has Roku or the DC app, but still a bit of news here. Back go, don't leave. You're too fun. Uh, Anyways, on to the next story here. Roku officially deactivates DC Universe app. DC Universe app has been deactivated from Roku devices ahead of its transition to DC Universe Infinite, a premium comic book service. The DC Universe app has been uninstalled from Roku ahead of the relaunch of the platform, and with it, the viewer's ability to access DC TV shows and movies through the digital device. The change happened shortly after HBO Max reached an agreement to be carried on Roku. Comicbook.com reported users now get an error message stating DC Universe is no longer available. Click here for other channels to explore. DC Universe is converting to a premium comic book subscription service in January under the name DC Universe Infinite. Past seasons of original TV shows, DC Stargirl, Doom Patrol, Titans, Young Justice, and the animated Harley Quinn were transferred to HBO Max, which will carry their new episodes. Um, at relaunch, DC Universe Infinite will offer a library of 24,000 plus comics, digital first comics, and original graphic novels touching on the DC Multiverse's 86-year history. Users will get digital access to new comics only 6 months after the print versions are sold in stores, instead of the current wait of 12 months. Users will get unlimited downloads for online reading. DC Universe subscriber accounts will automatically transfer to DC Universe Infinite. DC Universe Infinite is giving special vouchers valued at $25 to annual subscribers or $10 for monthly subscribers. That can be redeemed at the DC shop. Subscriptions are priced at $74.99 annually or $7.99 monthly. Okay. The service can be found on iOS and Android devices and at DCUniverseInfinite.com. There we go. So that's all the comic stories. Just give me a moment while I go off camera here. Roku sucks. I went back to using my Xbox for everything. I have a laundry list of complaints about Roku. Little things, but they bug. Well, little things add up, though. Little things add up. So, yeah, it would be one thing if it was just one or two things, but if you got stuff adding up, just stuff stacking on top of problems stacking on top of each other. What's Roku? Roku, like an Amazon Fire Stick. Uh, Laugh out loud, destined to fail. Then, thanks, Fat Goat. Excuse me one more time, guys. I gotta go off camera for a quick moment. All right, I'm back. So now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the next set of stories in the realm of anime. There are a couple from the anime section that I wanted to go ahead and look at. Okay, that was one of them, but one before it, right here. I know this one was talked about. I think even Hiro Hay may have talked about this one a while back. It's now comic book um, like comic book resources here now. So, Attack on Titan creators' hometown erects statues of manga series main characters. And I know that from what I remember, I believe Hiro Hay also did talked about this about a month or so ago. The Attack on Titan manga series is nearing its conclusion, and to celebrate, statues resembling the story's heroes have been constructed. The acclaimed manga series Attack on Titan is nearing its conclusion. To commemorate the milestone, statues that resemble the story's heroes, Eren, Mikasa, and Armin, have been constructed. The statues are located in the hometown of series creator Hajime Isayama in the city of Hita in Otita Prefecture, Japan. Facing the Oyama Dam, the statues feature the heroes gazing up toward an invisible threat near the top of the structure. Imagery hauntingly akin to the series opening. I guess here's a tweet from Attack on Fans. Finally, after many months of work, the bronze statues of Eren, Mikasa, and Armin are now on display in Hita, Hajime Isayama's hometown. Along with this, there was also a short interview where the author mentioned that the manga has 1 to 2% left to finish 4 to 6 chapters, which I do believe Hirohei covered that as well. The unveiling ceremony took place in November, where guests were able to view the bronze statues and use an interactive VR app to see a virtual Titan looming over the dam, according to Kotaku. Isayama was present during the ceremony and thanked fans for their outpouring of support. Um, he also announced that the series is nearing completion with 1 to 2% left to finish, roughly equaling 4 to 6 chapters left in the benchmark saga. While these statues mark the end of the Attack on Titan manga, a series Isayama has been working on for over a decade, the franchise as a whole is entering its own celebratory stage. Apart from the announcement that the manga is nearing its completion, the fourth and final season of the anime adaptation of Attack on Titan began airing on Crunchyroll, Funimation, and Hulu on December 7th. Much like the show's third season that preceded it, the final season is being split into 2 parts. The first collection of episodes, slated to air over the coming weeks, and part 2 arriving in 2021. Um, with the newly placed statues, the legacy of Attack on Titan and the work of Isayama is now cemented in manga and anime history. All that's left to do is await the final pages and see where the journey ends. Based on the manga series of the same name by Hajime Isayama, new episodes of Attack on Titan Season 4 arrive Wednesdays on Crunchyroll and Funimation. That's all for that. Wow, man, I've already got through like over half of the story, like four of the seven stories already. The moment any streaming services steps even a pinky toe outside of being digital, they fail. Internet companies and their wireless thumb drives, IEXM, um, people want, or drives one EXM, um, people want hardware free or very close to it. Be right back. Anyways, on to the next story here. All right, then here we go. Then continuing on here, five great anime heroes who are also awful people. I guess they're anti-heroes then, huh? Some anime heroes are great at saving the day, but that doesn't mean they're great people. Just look at these five examples for proof. Some protagonists are great at saving the day, but are also terrible people who may or may not do terrible things. If not for their hero status, these characters would be insufferable and maybe even criminal. People no one would ever want to be around. I guess these are anime anti-heroes. um, for the purposes of this article, a hero is an anime character that is considered a hero within their respective universe. Therefore, the threshold of terribleness here takes into consideration the large amount of property damage, financial or physical harm, or the number of deaths the character had a hand in, intentionally or not. Um, the awfulness of heroes doesn't lower the impact of their heroism or lessen the strength of their character. But for fun, let's look at the darker side of five notable anime heroes. Neon Genesis Evangelion's Shinji Ikari. Classic series, classic character. Let's see what they have to say here. Shinji Ikari is the protagonist and main hero within Neon Genesis Evangelion. Focusing on the original Neon Genesis Evangelion anime series, his choices caused physical harm every second he resisted getting into his robot for any given reason. Feeling a certain amount of empathy for him is understandable, as he was a teenage boy burdened with the fate of a war with the angels and weight of preventing the deaths in his current city and the rest of the world. Not to mention that he was a bit of a whiner, right? I remember seeing. Okay. However, his hesitation could still be difficult to justify with the destruction of the city, the physical and mental injuries of Ray and Asuka, the physical injuries of his classmates and their families, and the deaths of so many residents in his city unlucky enough to get caught in the crosshairs. And there is one more significant thing he did, and I don't know if everybody has seen Neon Genesis Evangelion or the movies or whatever. But there's another thing he did involving, I believe it was Asuka. That some people might find quite horrendous. Okay, going to lurk. Okay, I'll quote Batman on this article. I won't kill you, but it doesn't mean I have to save you. It kind of remind I've been watching some wrestling podcasts recently that are hosted by this guy named Conrad Thompson. Um, Something to wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, what happened when with Tony Schiavone, the Arn Show with Arn Anderson, and Grilling Jr. With Jim Ross. Um, and of course, they have merchandise and stuff like T-shirts and stuff like that. And Bruce Pritchard, who of course most notably took on the role of Brother Love back in the late '80s, early '90s for the WWF, and was ended up being a producer, backstage guy for them. Um, he has this shirt that goes, "Just because I love you doesn't mean I like you." Uh, this quote you just put up there, ATC, reminded me of. Everyone likes light, but he is no hero. Laugh a lot. Yeah, these guys could be considered anti-heroes. I watched Death Note for L. I was so mad when he lost the fight. Um, so, anyways, so you guys are already looking at Light Yagami and already even I haven't even gotten into the argument yet. Death Note's Light Yagami. Light Yagami, the protagonist within Death Note, spent the entire series walking the fine line of ethical behavior. He undoubtedly caused the deaths of many people, at first criminals and later killing individuals to cover up his secret. Yet, he was considered a hero by some in the anime because of his mission to eradicate crime. His relationship with women, however, showed his blatant disregard for others. But the moment that may have fully solidified his terribleness was the scene in which his father was on his deathbed, which he dealt with an almost sickening serial killer manner. Yeah, talk about anti-hero. That's what these guys are probably be more. Anime may consider them heroes, but they're probably more closer to being anti-heroes than being heroes. How about maybe I'm biased as I relate to L, but damn, I didn't see that coming. How about damn it, Mike? I've said that to my ex. I love you, but I don't like. Yeah, I, I love you, but I don't like you. A la Brother Love of WFM, aka Bruce Pritchard. So, laugh out loud. Oops. Someone did the math. He killed something like 60,000 people. Yeah, it's pretty easy to do that with a death note. I mean, think about it. Let's say, what if one of us was able to get our hands on a death note? We could probably clean up America real quick, clean up the swamp real quick, right? Well, Light wasn't killing heroes, but he would kill people close to his secret. I would say not a hero, more like a villain with a hero complex. Well, that's one way of putting it too. I use the term anti-hero. Those are anti-heroes are heroes who have that darker edge, who kind of go kind of balance on the crevice between ethical and unethical behavior. So anti-hero might be the better term for it. Killing bad guys is an old theme. Well done in this case, though. Lug has a death note left. Yeah, we haven't heard from her in a while. Hey, anonymity. Hey, evening, gentlemen. Just got home. I'll be listening in. Smoking with a neighbor. Yeah, you missed out on the Richard Myers story, but then again, I guess Nick covered it last night too. So, say L was the hero of the series. Anon, I'll join you in a smoke. Hey, Anon, this sour power stuff, Bat Goat, I'm loving it. How's it going, Action? Anonymity. Wow, we got up to 7 people in here now. Yay, 7 people. And guys, as always, I do appreciate any likes and shares you guys want to, give my way. See if we can get some more people in. My boy Zach still AG. Leto, what's your view on the series Death Note? Hey Leto, how's it going? Evening, sir. Why I give Leto a chance to answer that question, I'm going to go off camera for a moment. All right, so let's see what you. Leto, we already read that part. Hey Leto, okay, we read that part. Add on one bottle of whiskey down, started the rum, laugh out loud. Anon, you missed me and Toys yelling at each other about whose country is colder and icier. I lost. Mike called it for Toys. Oh boy. I'm in the crowd that thought it was an okay show, but I think it's more overrated for the hype. Not bad though. I'm more into action with swords and stuff. It's good. Till the last part. Didn't care for L students. It was 60 here today. Well, today here where I live in Southern California was 72. So, welcome to the Hotel California. What a lovely place. What a lovely place. What a lovely place. You better hope your bleep miss me. Um, if you see me drinking whiskey, You know, me and Diablo get way past tipsy. My mom went to Palm Springs for the winter. She's loving it. So, anyways, as we continue on with the article here, Attack on Titan's Eren Yeager. Looking at Eren Yeager's character development until the end of season 3, he is the masochistic and suicidal protagonist of Attack on Titan. Although his actions could be considered admirable and heroic, his mistakes did also cause the deaths of countless comrades and civilians. He's acted wildly selfishly and was willing to sacrifice himself and those around him for the sake of ending the Titan's terror. This is technically one of the responsibilities of the Survey Corps, but in any case, that has never been for him to decide. Um, she's lucky. Sounds nice, man. She's old. They got to keep them bones warm. That go. I didn't realize I came off that way. I, though we were having fun and making the piss out of subject matter. If I made you feel bad about the subject, I'm sorry. Regarding Zero is a pretty good show. Can get a little impatient with it, but it usually pays off. Let's see. I love Colorado, but I couldn't live there. The elevation and cold kills me. I can handle cold and snow at sea level. Rocky Mountain High, Rocky Mountain High. All right, got to start driving again back into the freeway. Have a good one, Leto. Be safe. Aha, action. I don't think he's offended in the least. I was joking, bro. No hard feelings at all. All right, gentlemen, I'm loaded and about to disappear into the smoke. Ooh. Sounds good. Anyways, moving on here with the article. Regarding Zero Subaru Natsuki. Focusing on Subaru Natsuki's character development in season 1 of Regarding Zero, he not only died countless times, but he also caused the gruesome deaths of multiple other characters, numerous times as well. His efforts to try to get together with Amelia could be considered admirable or romantic. However, the number of deaths to get there felt more selfish than anything else. Even without the deaths, objectively, his treatment of Ren's feelings showcased his selfishness on an obscene level. If he had solely just rejected her, it would have been normal. But he then asked for her to help him get together with Amelia. The pain of being asked that is unimaginable. I guess that's what you were meaning. I think it was anonymity. You said you can get impatient with the series a bit. Man, the English way of reversing the reverse Japanese names doesn't do it for me. Will always read Natsuki Subaru, etc. Ha ha ha. Subaru Natsuki Subaru. Mob Psychos hundreds Reagan Arataka. Although Reagan Arataka isn't the main protagonist of Mob Psycho 100, the anime wouldn't be the same without this infamous conman. His work conned countless individuals without empathy. Um, it's subjective as to whether or not that was without harm, but his work nonetheless preyed on naive individuals for his own personal gain. His saving grace was mentoring Mob, but even then, he still conned and manipulated Mob. He did manage to face this head on in season 2, but only after letting a particular con spiral out of his control. While these heroes collectively may have done heroic things, they still caused a lot of harm. An unbelievable amount of individuals who usually didn't deserve it, to an unbelievable amount of individuals who didn't deserve it. This doesn't take away from the heroism, but it is important to look at these characters and acknowledge their flaws. If they are entirely good, that wouldn't be realistic depictions of people. Their flaws showcase the human condition. Interesting. Man, oh, okay. We read that one already. Okay, I watched regarding Zero religiously, and I'm pro blue haired maid, laugh out loud. But if you watch the series from perspective of a gamer, realize. I guess you meant to say realize. What would you do if you knew you could reset start over from a prior save? Um, you're watching the show from the game player's views, and yet from the first person of the character. And we're just past the hour mark. So be right back. I wouldn't want to die gruesomely. I know. Haha. I doubt any of us would, anonymity. Not any of us really would want to actually die gruesomely. So, anyways, moving on to the next story. Wait, was that? Oh yeah, okay. I actually, yeah, okay. So we got through the anime stuff. So wow, And the next two stories here I'm going to do are kind of connected to each other because they're in regards to HBO Max. Anon, if you knew you'd die, but have a chance to had a huge bleep you afterwards, would you do it? Great show tonight, Mike. Thanks, ATC. We're getting through quite a few stories here. So here's the first of the two HBO Max series or Max stories tonight. Batman TAS, or the animated series, and Batman Beyond arrive on HBO Max in January. In January, HBO Max is adding Batman the Animated Series, Batman Beyond, Batman Begins, Batman Death in the Family, and more. In January, Batman the Animated Series and Batman Beyond arrive on HBO Max. Both shows arrive on the streaming service January 1st, along with Batman Begins, Batman Beyond, The Return of the Joker, Batman Bad Blood, Batman Death in the Family, and Batman Hush. And I believe Death in the Family, I've referred to that. That's the one where Joker killed Jason Todd. Was a story. Batman, the animated series, ran for 2 seasons from 1992 to 1995, airing over 80 episodes. In its latter run, the show went under the titles "The Adventures is Batman." I think it's supposed to say "The Adventures of Batman and Robin," and the new Batman Adventures, with the show officially ending in 1999. Created by Eric Radomski and Bruce Timm, it was the first show in DC's modern animated universe, DCAU, um, bringing together iconic voice casts like Kevin Conroy's Bruce Wayne, Batman, and Mark Hamill's Joker. Of course, Mark Hamill. Okay, he's portrayed some very interesting characters. He was Luke Skywalker in in the earlier Star Wars movies back in the late 70s, early 80s. And then in the animated world, he has this tendency to be cast as psychotic villains. He's of course the Joker in Batman in the DCAU, in many of the cartoons there, including Batman the animated series, Superman the animated series, Justice League Unlimited. All of his appearances throughout the DCAU, Mark Hamill did the Joker. He also did the Hobgoblin in Spider-Man the animated series. I think he was kind of the psychotic villain in and I can't remember the name of it now. It was a space monkey adventure movie or something like that. But anyways, so let's see if you guys have anything to say in regards to what I just said about Mark Hamill. Okay, I guess not. He's an SJW female dog. I'm sorry, but I can't separate art from artist. I hate him as a weak-minded lefty punk. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I just the amazing thing for me is just the fact that because he's since he's been involved in a lot of like voice work there, he does seem to get the well. He even in for one episode he also voiced Solomon Grundy in the DCAU. So yeah. Um, Unfortunately, though, a lot of people in Hollywood are lefty punks. So that's the other kind of irksome thing. Greenback goat. The art is the medium, and the medium is the message. Oh, verse. You will hear. So, anyway, continuing on with the article here, the dark deco aesthetic mixed with three-dimensional characters resulted in Batman the Animated Series becoming one of the most beloved interpretations of the Batman character to date. Created by Tim Paul Dini. Now, Paul Dini's been a long time writer of cartoons and animated series. He even worked for Funimation, or not Funimation, but Filmation back in the 80s. I think he did some writing for the He-Man series as well, He-Man and She-Ra series of the 80s. And Alan Burnett. Batman Beyond premiered in 1999 and ran for 3 seasons, ending in 2001. A sequel to Batman, the animated series, this show focused on Terry McGinnis, a teenager who inherits the mantle of Batman from an aging Bruce Wayne to help protect a futuristic Gotham. Let's see. I was trying to remember the slang term they came up with in that show. But anyways, there was a particular slang term that they used in that show that a lot of like Terry and a lot of his peers used, but can't remember it now off the top of my head. While not held in quite the same regard by fans as its predecessor, popularity eventually led to McGinnis' introduction into the DC universe proper. And of course, he made some guest appearances on some other shows. Batman Beyond was used to help. Batman Beyond was used to help introduce the Zeta Project, and then Batman Terry McGinnis made appearances on Static Shock and Justice League, or Justice League Unlimited, not Justice League, it's just League Unlimited. Animation used to be a staple for translated anime. Now, now it's Funimation. No, actually, Filmation never did anime. I don't think Filmation actually ever did anime. Filmation was an anime company that was started by Lou Scheimer. Lou Scheimer. Um, among Filmation's works included he probably the most famous was He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and its sequel She-Ra. Also, let's see, Black Star, Brave Star, the Groovy Ghoulies, Sabrina the Teenage Witch from back in the some of the Archie cartoons of the late 60s, early 70s, Star Trek the animated series. You know, so those are all Filmation. Filmation was a animation company. It was I don't think they were involved with anime. They were an animation company. Ew, exactly. You laugh out loud. So true though. Actually, I like Static Shock. Hmm. Yeah. So, anyways, as we continue on here, let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, we have one more story to go through, which is another story regarding HBO Max. Here we go. In regards to remember Star Trek the animated series on Netflix, worth a watch. Reminder: Star Trek the animated series is on Netflix. Sailor Moon, Space Academy, and more. Oh my god. and I just aged myself. Well, I kind of suspected you were around the same age as me. Uh, Ed, and Eddie, and more Cartoon Network classics hit HBO Max in January. So more stuff is coming to HBO Max, not just a number of stuff in the Batman franchise. HBO Max's January 2021 editions include classic Cartoon Network shows like Ed, and Eddie, codenamed Kids Next Door, and Courage the Cowardly Dog. Ed, and Eddie is finally set to debut on HBO Max in January and will be joined on the streaming service by multiple other classic Cartoon Network shows. Per Warner Media, Ed, and Eddie is slated to start streaming on HBO Max on January 1st, 2021. Fans can likely expect all 5 seasons of the show, which originally ran from 1999 to 2007, to arrive on the platform. That being said, it is currently unclear if the show's 4 specials, which don't belong to any one season, or its 2008 Lost episode, i.e., the sole episode released as part of season 6, will be available to stream as well. It is also unclear if the 2009 television film Ed, and Eddie's Big Picture Show will be included. In addition to Ed, and Eddie, other Cartoon Network classics set to hit on HBO Max on January 1st include Codename Kids Next Door, 2002 to 2008, Courage, the Cowardly Dog, 99 to 2002, and The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, 2001 to 2007. January 1st will also mark the HBO Max arrival of a few more recent Cartoon Network releases, namely Long Live the Royals and Season 2 of Craig of the Creek. Season 1 is already on HBO Max. Moreover, Season 4 4A of Ben 10 is set to arrive on January 9th. And that's all the main stories for tonight, guys. Uh, let's see. Okay. I hated that show. You guys know I'm no fake when it comes to cartoons. That show was painful to watch. What, you talking about Ed, and Eddie? There, Batgoat? Sailor Moon, Batgoat. Laugh out loud, sorry, been drinking and losing track of convo. Well, first off, Sailor Moon was never done by Filmation. It wasn't even dubbed by Funimation. Sailor Moon was actually originally it was dubbed up in Canada by Deep Productions. That's where you had like Tracy Moore, Terry Hawks, and Linda Ballantine all doing Serena, Sailor Moon. At one point, you had like um, Susan Roman doing the voice of Lita in that. Um, Katie Griffin doing the voice of Ray. So um, Ed, and Eddie, sorry, no problem. Give me a sec, guys. I got to go off camera again. Man, did I just do that with my mic muted? I probably did. I another brain fart there. It looks like. Anyway, shh, Mike. Go through these again. I hated that show. You guys know I'm no fake when it comes to cartoons. That show was painful to watch. Sailor Moon, Batgoat. So sorry, been drinking and losing track of convo. Ed and Eddie, sorry. I still haven't touched up yet. Be right back. Good stories. Oh, yeah. So those are, okay, Woody. Thankfully, we couldn't hear the brain fart. Yeah. Yep. 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 Mm. Anyways, won't disagree, Mike. Laugh out loud. Too tired and too drunk to argue. So we're now at an hour and 26 minutes. So pretty close, an hour and 27 minutes now. Um. Oh yeah. So hope you guys have been having fun tonight. Um. Let's see. And of course, a reminder, another programming reminder, just in case there's some who didn't hear. For Christmas Eve, Christmas night, New Year's Eve, and New Year's night, I'll be opening up the studio to allow you guys to come in and hang out with me, and we'll just talk up niche. It'll just be a niche talk night, and we'll just talk about whatever crosses our minds in terms of niche, whether it be anime, comics, cartoons, manga, or pro wrestling. So, and yeah, and I did hear, as I mentioned to you earlier, ATC. I did look up Crest's Twitter earlier. Um, I did see that she had initially planned to have a stream, I guess, last night, but I guess decided she's going to have one tomorrow night or early this morning, and I guess she's going to try to do one, I guess, tomorrow night or whatever. So, don't forget, Mike. Never mind. Laugh out loud. You got you got to it. All right. Um. Yeah. So, anyways, um. So yeah. So I hope I know some of you might still be doing stuff with your families. I understand that, but for those of you who want to join me tomorrow night, Friday night, or next Thursday and Friday night, I'll be opening up the studios for you guys to join me. So, with that being said, unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about, I guess we can start winding down here. Um, you know, start winding down. We can start winding down if you guys want, and if you guys are ready for niche history tonight. Oh, that she got date laugh out loud. Senior needs to catch up. History and ATC. I will be looking for your message on Facebook after sometime afterwards tonight on what's going on. I know you didn't want to discuss it too deeply here, and I do that. So I'll be waiting for your message on Facebook. Yay, history, Nietzsche. All right. So here we go. Let me just remind myself where everything's at here. 2000, and this is from 2015, right? Or 2010. Okay. All right then. I'll have to go off camera for just a quick moment, and then I'll be right back. Alrighty then. So today being Wednesday, December 23rd, 2020. Um, let's take a look back on this day in Nietzsche history. See what's happened on this day in Nietzsche history. Okay, so the first thing I want to look at now, before I get into this a bit, I want to preface this by saying normally I don't do aside from Japanese from anime, I don't really talk a lot about like international animation. I don't like to talk too much about cartoons from like Europe and all that. Only outside of North America here. I'll do anime. Japanese animation. But in this case, this was a first for India. That's why I'm reporting on this next thing. Next thing here. I've allowed, yay, my emails are telling me I'm a millionaire. Okay, well, anyway, so with that being said, so first off, on this date 20 years ago today, in the year 2000, um, let's see, Penta Media Graphics released the animated movie Pandavas, The Five Warriors. It was India's first computer animated film. Um, and it actually also won the National Film Award for Best Feature Film in English. So on this date in 2020 years ago today, Pena Media Graphics released the animated film Pandavas, The Five Warriors. The significance of this was the first computer animated film from India. So that's the significance of it. Why I decided to put it in there. My Nigerian prince buddy is going to send me $100,000. Okay. So, anyways, moving on to the next piece of Nietzsche history. Let's see. So on this date in the year 2009, which was 11 years ago today, Archie Comics released the 200th issue of the Betty and Veronica Digest. Um, so on this date, 11 years ago today, Archie Comics released the 200th issue of Betty and Veronica Digest. It was an 88-page book at $2.69. Cover price $2.69. So 11 years ago today, the 200th issue of Betty and Veronica Digest went on sale from Archie Comics. I thought they were supposed to be smart. Doesn't sound like it to me if they can't do CGI movie until 12 years after it got pioneered in the USA. But then again, I'm a jerk. Well, yeah, well, what can you say? Some countries are just not as advanced as others. There, Backgoat. Um, so what can you say about that? And finally, for tonight, on this date in 2010, um, OLM Incorporated released the anime movie Inazuma 11 um, Saikyo Gundam Oga Shirai. It was, I guess, an animated film based on the video game series Inazuma 11. So on this date in 2010, 10 years ago today, Inazuma 11 Saikyo Gundam Oga Shirai was released by OLM Incorporated. Um, let's see a couple of things. Laugh out loud, Batgoat. Batgoat is related to my bet Road, who only needs me to send her 3,000 for papers and a ticket. Laugh out loud. Laugh out loud. Damn straight, everyone knows Willow was the first film to use CGI. Yep. All right, guys. Well, we got through everything, and I'm glad you guys joined me tonight. Hope to see at least some of you tomorrow night, which I'll open up the stream. The only news items I will have will be, the history stuff. Tomorrow, I hope for those of you who do decide to join me, will consider coming into the studio and we can talk niche and just kind of ramble on about whatever niche topics, whether it be anime, cartoons, comics, or manga or pro wrestling. Um, you're all invited to come into the stream when I put the link up. Um, so let's see. Well, CGI animation, I'm thinking Pixar making the first of those starting back in 82. I think it's all on the Disney Channel to personal 82 or 84, I forget. All right, guys. Well, wrapping up. I'll be there sober, laugh out loud. Hopefully, you'll join me in the studio too. We'll try to find some stuff to talk about. Um, and ATC, I'll be looking for your whatever PM DM EM on Facebook in regards to what we talked about earlier. So guys, great stream, peace y'all. So until tomorrow night, I bid you all good night. Bye.